Welcome. Salute. Appreciate everybody for joining us late on this Wednesday, January 26th. Um, I want to say congratulations once again to the entire community on another night of perfection. Um, and it was actually kind of interesting though because, today being the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death date as well as Gianna Bryant, there was a lot of synchronicities that we saw, and so you can kind of say that Kobe Bryant was speaking from his grave. So it's kind of interesting. We're gonna get into all that, but if you in here, click the like. Appreciate you for joining us. It's gonna be a real interesting video. We're gonna make some crazy correlations and prove once again, beyond a reasonable doubt that gematria continues to be the number one system when it comes to predicting sports outcomes. Um, Also proving that this world we live in is definitely controlled to a certain degree. Things happen on a specific day at a specific time, at a specific time of the year for all the right reasons, right? So as you guys can see with the wallpaper today, we have the Gianna Bryant and the Luka Doncic correlation that not a lot of people are aware of, but it was very obvious what was going to happen and what was going to go down today, right? So we're going to get into exactly how Kobe Bryant continues to haunt the NBA from his grave, and hopefully you guys appreciate this video, repost it, and hopefully we get a little traction. On this video, just bringing more eyes to the community, right? It's a little bit late, but this video is way too important to kind of worry about what time of day it actually is. Time is kind of, relative at that same, So let's get into it. Before we get into the Kobe Bryant thing, though, just to quickly review the night and give some shout outs. So one of the things that we spoke about, congratulations to all the Cleveland Cavaliers backers, plus 160 money line underdog, right? So we'll get into that game first because it's actually kind of quick. And it's amazing when you can hit multiple underdogs on back-to-back days. Just thankfully we're putting our Patreons and our members in a great position moving into February, and a great start to the year 2022, right? So let's get into it. One of the key numbers that we pointed out specifically with today was the number 57, right? The Cleveland Cavaliers coach J.B. Bickerstaff picked up his 57th win of his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we pointed out that was one number that synced directly with the Milwaukee Bucks, who were the Cleveland Cavaliers' opponents tonight, right? So the Cleveland Cavaliers were getting about 4.5 points on the spread, and they were about a plus 160, plus 165 money line underdog. So congratulations to everybody that took advantage of that. Just wanted to show you guys as well. If you're not already following me on Twitter or on social medias, you're really punishing yourself, okay? Because we do give away great content on those platforms. So you definitely want to follow us. It's I'll bring it to you right now. So it's actually MRFUTUR3S on Twitter as well as Instagram. So one of the key numbers, like we said, was the number 57, and I tweeted this out at halftime. I said I brought I brought up the number 57 specifically with this game and how it correlates to the Cleveland Cavaliers coach picking up his 57th win of his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then look, the score at halftime was 57-65. And I just gave a little hint to the followers on Twitter about the possible foreshadowing of the Milwaukee Bucks giving Cleveland coach that 57th win, because they finished the first half with 57 points, right? So it definitely was a foreshadow. As you guys can see, the Cleveland Cavaliers not only carried on the 8 point um, lead that they had, but they ended up winning by 16 points. So regardless of where you took it, prior to the game, plus 160, plus 4 points, or at halftime, I believe at halftime they were about a minus minus 3.5 points or whatever. So they covered the halftime spread. They covered every spread possible. Every Cleveland Cavalier backer today was very happy. So salute to you guys. You guys know who you are. I'm sure you took multiple advantage of this game across all platforms. They won pretty much every quarter except the fourth quarter. So there was a bunch of money made on this specific game. So congratulations. A lot of people were questioning this specific play. The Milwaukee Bucks were about a minus 200 money line favorite. And once again, to recommend a minus 200 money line favorite is prove this is just another example of how stupid that is, right? Because the Milwaukee Bucks were minus 200, in some cases minus $220 money line favorite, and they destroyed everybody who backed them today. So congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers and everybody who decided to attack this game aggressively from multiple angles and responsibly. Salute to you guys and everybody who paid attention to my Twitter once I posted this at halftime. It was a key information that we put up, and you guys definitely should have taken advantage of it. So moving along to the actual Kobe Bryant ritual that we had today. So congratulations to everybody who took advantage of Cleveland as well on the money blind, but collaborated and parlayed it with the main play of the day, which was the Dallas Mavericks to defeat the Portland Trailblazers. Right. There were multiple things on the board for the Dallas Mavericks to win this game, and it was definitely a little bit of a little unique, right? So, um, what I want to remind you guys is that Kobe Bryant's last game that he played. I mean, I'm sorry, the Kobe Bryant's last game at the Staples Center. So he was no longer a player, but the last game that he actually was at the Staples Center um, was to see the Los Angeles Lakers play Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks, right? There was a key part in that game where Luka was inbounding the ball and Kobe Bryant kind of heckled him from behind while he was speaking, Luka Doncic dialect from his hometown, his home country, which I believe was Slovenia. So he was speaking a little bit of that, a little bit of broken Slovenian, and Luka turned around and kind of gave Kobe an embrace. They high fived, and this was actually one of the players that Gigi Bryant was wanted to study as a basketball player, right? She was learning a lot from her father, and this was one of the players that she was trying to model or take certain aspects of their game and implement them into her game. So I believe the other one was Trey Young as well as Devin Booker. So you have the Luka Doncic, the Trey Young, and just the Devin Booker correlation and sync, not only with Kobe Bryant but with his daughter Gianna Bryant, right? So this blew up all over social media, kind of went viral when this little moment happened between Luka Doncic, who was new in the league at the time, but he had a lot of press and a lot of praises from NBA legends, and this was kind of like the first public embrace between Kobe and Luka, right? And it was in front of it was at the Staples Center, which is arguably one of the biggest stages besides Madison Square Garden when it comes to basketball, and it was on national TV as well. So this was a very important moment in basketball history, and like I said, this was Kobe's last game that he watched at Staples Center, right? This was about a month prior to him and his daughter passing away, supposedly. So, the importance of this is just to remind you guys that this was his last game watching this guy, Luka Doncic, right? So, we head into today. The Dallas Mavericks defeated the Portland Trailblazers. Now, they were about when we put this game out earlier today, they were about a minus 160 money line favorite, which is a little on the higher side. But again, the riddle behind this specific game was just so pure and so amazing. We definitely had to jump on it and put it out there, regardless of the money line price, even though it was still within our range, right? So obviously, as game time started to get closer, the line kind of climbed and climbed and climbed. But Even if you took it on a minus 4 points, as you guys can see, they defeated them by 20 points. So the minus 4 point spread was a minus 110. You would have covered it, so it doesn't really matter. So congratulations to everybody who took this game, the Dallas Mavericks, to defeat the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to show you guys exactly how crazy this Kobe Bryant ritual was, right? So let's talk about the things that were on the board for Dallas, just cosmetically, right? So we have the 28th victory for Dallas, right? And we have the 28th loss of the season for Portland. So the 28 connection with both the teams, 28 picking up 28 in the win and in the loss column, right? Now what's important is because Portland next game is against the Rockets, right? Now Rockets equaling 29 in full reduction, the purest cipher. We thought and we assumed that it made perfect sense for the Portland Trailblazers to pick up the 28th loss today, heading into that meeting against the Houston Rockets when Rockets equals 28, and they actually play each other on the 28th day of the month, right? January 28th is the game between the Portland Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets, and now they will be going into that game on 28 losses when Rockets equals 28, and it's on the 28th day of the month. Now we just saw this another sync happen like this a couple days ago. I believe yesterday. I'm sorry, with the I believe it was facing. It was a team that was heading into. It was again the Charlotte Hornets, right? The Charlotte Hornets stayed on 26 wins coming into today to play the Indiana Pacers on the 26th day of the month when the Pacers equals 26 in the purest cipher, right? So we kind of are seeing these synchronicities and these predetermined foreshadows that are happening throughout the NBA, right? So again, we have the number 28. Okay, so that was right on the surface, but getting into just a little bit deeper. So Jason Kidd, the coach of the Dallas Mavericks, with a win today, he became 211 and 211, and 211 is the 47th prime number. We're constantly speaking about prime numbers and their relationships, so it kind of made sense for him to get that 211th win versus Portland and stay on 211 losses, with today being a 15-date numerology, 211 to 47th prime, 47 to 15th prime, and the Dallas Mavericks' next opponent is actually Indiana, right? So Indiana equaling 47 and reverse full reduction, and then we also have a connection with the number 47 and the Mavericks, right? So 47 connections with both of these teams. The Mavericks go in against Indiana, 211. Well, their coach Jason Kidd goes into that meeting, 211 and 211. 211 is the 47th prime. It connects with their very next opponent. So that's just this on the surface what we saw are connecting, basically with their next opponents. Okay. Now, where it gets interesting is right about now when you bring in the Kobe Bryant ritual, right? So it's January 26th, the 24-month anniversary of Kobe Bryant, and we have to talk about what's going on. So heading into this game, right, we had the games that happened yesterday. We'll just speak about them because they kind of connect into tonight a little bit. But as you guys can see, the Los Angeles Lakers didn't play today, right? They didn't play at all. But they played last night, the night priors, right? And they became 24 and 24 on the season. 24 and 24. And today is the 24-month anniversary of Mr. 24, Kobe Bryant, passing away. So it was obviously we were all on board on this game. The previous night, the Los Angeles Lakers have become 24 and 24, heading into the 24th month anniversary of Mr. 24 passing away. Right, crazy synchronicities. There was without a doubt that this was going to happen coming into the game. And then to just take it a step further, so the Los Angeles Lakers' next game actually is against the Philadelphia 76ers, right? Philadelphia, the hometown of Mr. 24, Kobe Bryant, where he was born. And then that game is actually going on Thursday, right? So for those of you not familiar with, the days of the week and the planets that they're actually named after, each day of the week is named after a specific planet. So Thursday, the day of the next game between, I'm sorry, the day of the next game for the Los Angeles Lakers is happening on the day named after Jupiter. And they go into that game 24 and 24, paying respects to Mr. 24, Kobe Bryant, on Thursday, named from Jupiter. And this is the Jupiter symbol, right? The Jupiter symbol is a huge 24. So, how ironic, how ridiculous is it that they go into the game 24 and 24 on the season, where they will definitely honor Mr. 24, Kobe Bryant, in his hometown on the day after the week named after Jupiter, which is a huge 24 symbol. This is beyond a reasonable doubt, proven way, you know, to the next level of how this is not a coincidence. This evidence is just crazy. It's not an accident the day that these games are scheduled. And actually, the NBA knows exactly what they're doing. This professional sports league is deep rooted in cabal, and they show on a daily basis how important gematria continues to be when predicting these sports outcomes, right? So, how ironic would that be that they're going into that game 24 and 24 on a day of the week named after 24, where they most definitely will be honoring Mr. 24 Kobe Bryant. Also, for those of you not familiar with uh, with the Lakers' position actually right now, so the Lakers are currently now in the eighth seed, which is once again paying homage to Kobe Bryant. Um, Actually, they were in the eighth seed at the start today of January 26th, but as you know, they didn't play today. So the Los Angeles Clippers picked up a victory today, and that's why they kind of overtook um, the Lakers for the eighth seed. But at the start of the day, the Los Angeles Lakers were actually in the eighth position in the Western Conference, which again is paying homage to Kobe Bryant, right? So let's get into the ritual that happened today specifically. Um, you know, with the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, and the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to show you um, just how crazy and ridiculous it actually was. So let's get into it. So besides all the numbers that we previously spoke about when it connects to this game and why we were all over the Dallas Mavericks, right? Um, Luka Doncic actually came into this game on 125 regular season wins, right? So now, actually, after the game has already been recorded, the victory has already been recorded. Luka Doncic is now currently on 126 regular season wins in his career, after getting a victory on 1/26, like the number 126. And then we have his opponent, which has a direct connection with the number 126. Portland Trailblazers equals 126 in reverse full reduction. So, how crazy is it that he picked up his 126 win on 126 versus the team that equals 126 in reverse full reduction? And as we said, this is also an honor date, of Gianna Bryant. Gianna Bryant equals 126. So it was, a pretty safe assumption to predict that Luka Doncic was going to get his 126 win on 126 versus the team that equals 126, while also paying homage to Gianna Bryant equaling 126 on her father's death date, January 26, Kobe Bryant. Okay? So this is beyond a coincidence. This is not something you could just say, oh, we're just attaching random numbers together. No, this is the number, this is one specific number correlated with the day of the year, with the person who's being remembered, and with the specific team that's being played. This is absolute proof of gematria ringing true on another level. This is the ultimate Kobe Bryant ritual, and it's actually the ultimate Gianna Bryant ritual as well, right? You know, it kind of is. It's sad to see these kind of things happen on a daily basis, but this riddle was just far too pure for me to just not, put this out there and get the video out for for people. So, um, proving once again how important gematria is. Never an accident. It's always on purpose, right? Um, so let's talk about another thing. So as you guys know, today being 1/26 is date numerology of 27, right? 1 plus 26 is 27. And it's the perfect day to actually run a ritual, right? Because ritual equals 27 in the purest cipher. And we're constantly speaking about the number 27 as it connects to rituals. And as you guys know, Kobe Bryant died January 26, which is exactly 27 days after LeBron James' birthday, who the day before Kobe Bryant passed away, LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant on the all-time scoring list. So it was back-to-back rituals, on that faithful year of January, 2020. But once again, 27 days after LeBron's birthday, we get another ritual on the 27 date numerology. Um, and it's crazy too because not only is it a 27 date numerology, but actually Kobe Bryant was buried on February 7th, which is the day that could be written 2/7, like the number 27, right? And today being Wednesday, named after Mercury. Mercury equals 103, 103 being the 27th prime number. For those of you not familiar with Gematria and, you know, the amount of work that's been put out there on Kobe Bryant's connection to Mercury, there's been a bunch of work put out there provided by Rambo as well as Zach, just connecting Kobe Bryant to a huge Mercury ritual, right? So once again, we get a Mercury synchronicity with Kobe Bryant being buried on 2/7, like the number 27. Today being a 27 date numerology, 27 days after LeBron's birthday, and today being Wednesday, named after Mercury, Mercury equaling 103, the 27th prime number. So, clear rituals that are going on. And it was all across the NBA because I'm going to show you a couple more games that have a direct connection to Kobe Bryant. This is why the title of this video is Kobe Bryant Speaks from the Grave, right? Because he actually has, with a bunch of the rituals that happened today on his anniversary date, right? So just taking it a little step further, with everything else that was going on in the NBA, just all across the board. We mentioned the connection between Luka Doncic, Trae Young, as well as Devin Booker, right? So let's get that out here. So Devin Booker, um, let's bring up that game so I can just show you guys what happened in this game as well. So the Phoenix Suns picked up their 38th win of the season today, and we put out exactly why the Phoenix Suns had a great riddle to pick up that 38th win. As you can see, Devin Booker is the main player being highlighted after this game. He was a key, member in some of the Kobe Bryant rituals that have been happening ever since Kobe Bryant passed away. And as you guys can see, he's constantly paying homage to Kobe Bryant. He was one of the first NBA players to openly promote this merchandise that was being sold by Vanessa Bryant. This Kobe and Gigi Lakers sweater that was designed. I'm not sure if it was designed directly by Vanessa Bryant, but she endorsed it. She promoted it on her website, and as you can see on the back of it, it says for Mamba Forever. KB, CB, Mamba Forever with the obviously the Black Mamba Scorpion. The Black Mamba Snake going on right then and there. But Devin Booker and the number 38, right? So the Phoenix Suns picked up their 38th win of the season, and besides the number 27, right? And we're gonna speak about exactly that still too, because Kobe Bryant's death, the day of his funeral, like we said, was 2/7. February 7th is the 38th day of the year, right? And now, why that's super important is because death equals 38 in English ordinal. And obviously, we're speaking about the death and passing of Kobe Bryant. But it also, uh, murder also equals 38 in reverse full reduction as well. So, how ironic that the Phoenix Suns pick up their 38th win of the season on, on today, the anniversary of Kobe Bryant, who was murdered, as we know, or, just happened to meet his death and be buried on the 38th day of the year when death and murder equals 38 in these, different ciphers. So it was, a high probability that the Phoenix Suns were going to pick up that 38th win of the season. Today's for that specific reason, especially with Devin Booker, being one of the main NBA players that was pretty much connected to a bunch of Kobe Bryant rituals that have happened ever since his passing. Um, so the number 38 connecting with death rings true once again. Multiple occasions with that number 38 and its reflection 83, um, being connected with death, murder, and kill as well. So Phoenix Suns, and Devin Booker once again picked up that symbolic 38th victory on Kobe Bryant's ritual day. Just another example of Kobe Bryant speaking from the grave, um, you know, as well as the Los Angeles Lakers record coming into January 26th, the anniversary. And just like the Luka Doncic Kobe Bryant ritual that happened today with him picking up his 126th victory of his regular season career on 126, honoring Gianna Bryant, which equals 126, versus the Portland Trailblazers, which equals that 126 as well. So, perfect Kobe Bryant ritual went down. Perfect Gianna Bryant ritual. More and more examples of Gematria being the key tool when using it to become a sports handicapper, a sports decoder. But there's definitely levels to it, and it has to be applied correctly. As you can see, there's multiple occasions of it being irresponsibly, you know, promoted by you know false individuals or whatever the case may be. But as you can see, by someone who's very experienced and using this system for years and years, we're proving on a super consistent basis all across different sports leagues how it can be applied on a daily basis to put you in a winning position. It takes you from an average bettor to a sharp handicapper. You're in the highest percentile of bringing great returns when using it correctly, as well as implementing certain principles and strategies that just provide certain safeguards when it comes to such a, as you can see, unsafe, kind of business. You know what I mean? It's called gambling for a reason, but we try to take the gambling aspect out of it and make it more of an investment opportunity instead of a gambling situation. So, hopefully everybody understood these rituals that we were talking about today. Just, Kobe Bryant speaking from the grave. And, once again, the number 126, the numbers 38, which are the death and the murder numbers. Just so many numbers connecting with Kobe Bryant and, his anniversary, right? So, salute to the entire community because it was an amazing day. It's not every day you get Kobe Bryant rituals, that specifically have to happen, right? That you feel so confident you can attack these games very, very aggressively and feel, super comfortable with the amount of money that you're risking, just waiting for your return, right? So this is one of the days where you could have just put your feet up, relax, and just waited for your money to bring its return, and also collaborating it with the Cleveland Cavaliers underdog play as well, just put you further and further in the driver's seat. And if you took it to, let's just see what everybody was able to do if they followed today. If they followed just the Kobe Bryant rituals that were on the board, right? So we have the the Cleveland Cavaliers, which were plus 160. You had the Dallas Mavericks, who were about a minus 165, and then you had the Phoenix Suns, who were about a minus 120, right? So for $100, that brought a return of over 8 to 1 on your money. So Kobe Bryant rituals, as well as just gematria rituals in general for today, brought you a over 8 to 1 return on your money if you threw a little bit of money out there on parlaying these three specific plays that we spoke about, right? Cleveland Cavaliers, Dallas Mavericks, and the Phoenix Suns all to win. Brought you over 8 to 1 return on your money, which is a great return on your investment, especially within a 24-hour period, right? Whenever you can make 8 to 1 returns in a 24-hour period, and actually a less period than that. The game started around 7:30, Eastern, and they ended at about, I want to say, probably 1 a.m. Eastern. So that's about 5.5 hours. Uh, Brought you over 8 to 1 return on your money, right? So that's amazing. It's also not being done very very often all across the board, all across the community. So whenever you can get 8 to 1 returns, it is always amazing, right? That's like a crypto play, magnified within less than 6 hours, which is crazy. So salute to you guys, salute to the entire community, all the new members that we're getting all across the board, and obviously that's gonna come with a little bit of hate as well. But it always makes us feel amazing when some of the things that we're starting to do now on our channel are being copycatted and are being duplicated on other platforms, right? So we made people well aware of kind of like this certain trends that we're starting now when it comes to the content that we're providing on our channel, and we're already seeing people duplicate these specific videos and these trends that we're starting. So it's it definitely is humbling whenever you can see people kind of like plagiarizing some of the things that you're doing, and it's funny at the same time, but we understand that's the nature of the beast, and oftentimes people won't give credit where credit is due, but it's fine though, because we're gonna take the credit, which is why when we started doing these things, we definitely put it out there that there was new and exclusive content that was being provided, and this hadn't really been done in this community, so we kind of highlighted it, so the point in which when people were going to start copying the content, it was going to be even more and more obvious, you know, what's going on, right? So appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that's rocking with us, all the support across the platforms, all the new members. For anybody who wants to become a member and you're not already in tune with what we're doing, the link in the description will take you directly to the Patreon to become a member. Salute to everybody. Thank you very much. All across all our Instagram and Twitter, it is the same name. That is MRFUTUR3S. Mr. Futures on Instagram and Twitter to get in tune with what we're doing. As we said, we released a great underdog today on Twitter and even further solidified it at halftime to get people to jump back in on that game, because the number 57 was definitely foreshadowed in that halftime score when it came to the Cleveland Cavaliers picking up that 57th win for their coach versus the team that equals 57. So definitely salute to the community. Salute to all the genuine supporters. Salute to all the copycats. Salute to all the haters as well, because they just keep us going. And it's funny too, because no matter how good you do, no matter how much work you put out for free on YouTube, no matter how many games you get, you get correct, there still is going to be a bunch of bozos out there who are going to try and talk down on you, try to discredit you, try to throw dirt on your name or whatever the case may be, which is why we have no problem blocking people, right? 9 times out of 10, these people who are talking negative about me are people that are blocked from the community, that can no longer subscribe to the membership. So they're very, very butthurt, and they're very, very sensitive about being excluded from some of the things that we're doing, right? So definitely don't take it serious. We're being promoted by some of the top members in this community for a reason, and we're still alive and consistently successful for a reason, right? The work kind of speaks for itself, and that's something that we've always let happen. We've always let the work speak louder than any type of promotion we do for ourselves, and it's continued to work for us. So salute to everybody. I appreciate you guys, and as we love to say on this channel, hopefully you guys appreciated, the Kobe Bryant rituals that we explained to you, specifically with some of these NBA players as well as some of these NBA franchises on the Kobe Bryant anniversary day, and as well as just our slogan on this channel, as we love to say, Gematria at its finest, easy as 1, 2, 3. Before we get out of here, we're just going to check out a video that was put out by Zach not too long ago. This was actually on the day that Kobe Bryant passed away. He kind of, we'll just check out some of the things that he was mentioning in his video, and just further connecting gematria and number synchronicities with actual events that are happening on a daily basis. So we'll get into that now.
Well, murders, and I talked to become third all time. January.
Sorry.
I did 2 videos on LeBron and Kobe. I did one before the game was played with the significance of LeBron James passing Kobe Bryant.
Get them likes up, man.
In points scored to become third all time, January 25th, 2020. If you missed that video, you definitely want to check it out. I explained how in the world of sports, major feats are synced with ritual murders. And I talked about how Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins, Philadelphia basketball players. Kobe's from Philly. LeBron passed Kobe yesterday in Philly. I talked about how Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins were both ritualistically murdered for Kobe's last NBA game against the Utah Jazz, April 13th, 2016. Moses Malone again died.
And just so you guys don't know, disclaimer, this is a video from the day after Kobe died, right? So this is January 27th, 2020. So this is 2 years ago. So that's why when he's referencing certain things, it might sound out of date, but this was from 2 years ago.
Age 60, Kobe played his last game scoring 60 points. Kobe played his last game against Utah, just like how Moses Malone was drafted by Utah out of high school, not unlike Kobe Bryant, not unlike LeBron James, both high school stars. So what I didn't think would happen, and what I couldn't have imagined yesterday talking about this, is that we'd already have an example to talk about another ritual murder, and it being Kobe Bryant, the day after LeBron passes him in his hometown. I've been decoding since the news. I know about 1,000 of you guys have called me on the Gematria hotline to let me know about this. I've been decoding the whole time, so I have a lot of information here. And let's just go through it. So it's the 26th. I talked about how significant this number 26 is yesterday. Yesterday was January 25th, 1 plus 25, 26. Now we're actually on the 26th day of the month where Kobe dies. If you have not read my book, again, come to Gematria Effect News right up here at the top. Click ebook. The book's here, 800 pages, instant download. The first chapter is why there are 26 letters in the English alphabet. This is what is known as the God number in Gematria. This is a very special number, 26. Bryant's 26, Jordan's 26, Game is 26, God's 26, and the list goes well beyond that. 26 is the number. It's not an accident that the English alphabet is 26 letters, and it's not an accident that players like Bryant and Jordan have literally been worshipped like gods by sports fans in recent decades. Guarantee you there's a lot of people who are completely heartbroken today by this news. I'd say, I'm 36 years old, I'd say, people around my age, you survey 1 out of 2 sports fans who's about my age, they're going to tell you Kobe Bryant's their favorite athlete. The word athlete also equals 26. I should have had that up here. And again, Kobe's from Philly. Philadelphia equals 101. That's the 26th prime number. This news was announced as the Pro Bowl was kicking off. Pro Bowl 101, the 26th prime. And like I said yesterday I covered the significance of LeBron's ritual and the upcoming Super Bowl 54. Now Kobe's part of the death rituals for Super Bowl 54, as we'll get to. I'm just making the point. It's not an accident. This news broke at the same time the Pro Bowl in the NFL was kicking off. Sports are a web of information. So, you know what? Let's just cover this real quick. Again, last night. So realize before this game was played, I talked about the significance of 54 before the game was played, because Kobe being Bryant equals 54. The date was January 25th, 25/1, like 251, the 54th prime. Last night, LeBron passed Kobe, scoring the 54th points for the Lakers. No accident. And if you saw this game, the score was 48-51. The Lakers and Philly were in a close race, and then you could see it went into tank mode. The Lakers just started playing dumb, throwing the ball away, committing dumb offensive fouls, hoisting up bricks left and right, like no follow through, not even trying to make shots. And the next thing you knew, the game was out of hand. And the next thing you know, the score's 54-74, 20-point deficit. Again, it was no accident they let Philly get up to 74, but before they scored their 54th point, this is the 74th NBA season, the year of Zion Williamson, which equals 74. Masonic, occult, killing, gematria, English, they all sum to 74. So anyway, this was a ritual last night, and this has everything to do with Kobe's death today. If you missed yesterday's videos, definitely check them out. A lot more that's important. Yesterday was 26 days after LeBron's birthday when he passed Kobe. Yesterday, the day that LeBron passed Kobe, was 26 days after LeBron's birthday. See? Okay. So let's get into the rest of this. This happened on a Sunday, right? Sunday's the one day of the week that sums to 33, like Kobe, like LeBron, like James. When Kobe was passed yesterday, it was done in the 33,000 points range. And here I can just make that point. Let me just show you real quick, because you need some clarification. Hold up. I got it here on the post from yesterday. So, LeBron before yesterday was on 626. Notice he came in with 33,626 before passing Kobe at 33,643. 26 again, 26 days after Bron's birthday. But 33,000 and some points, so they were in the 33K range when this happened, for third all time. Next up, Karl Malone, and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. By the way, Abdul-Jabbar equals 74, 74th NBA season. A lot of rituals we've talked about this year on Patreon between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's two NBA teams. One's the Lakers, one's the Bucks. Anyhow, Sunday's the one day of the week that sums to 33, like Kobe, like LeBron, like James. Remember, LeBron was the first player to come back from down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. He was the 33rd player and team to try. NBA Finals equals 33, like Cleveland. He came back and won it on the real King James's birthday, and we won a lot of people a ton of money because I said they're coming back. And even before they were down 3-1, I told people all year LeBron was winning that year. It was all about King James. Sure enough, he won it on the real King James's birthday, June 19th. First player in 33 attempts to do it in the NBA. Now, with regards to today being the 60-second Grammys, and again, this is what I've been preaching for years. Ritual murders and entertainment, always around the time of award ceremonies, always around the time of sports championships. I always point out that this year, the coldest, darkest time of the year is when you see the most deaths, around the time of the Super Bowl, Grammys. It's just clockwork. And with regards to it being the 60-second Grammys, notice Grammys is 33, but the 60-second, sacrifice equals 62, Fausti and bargain equals 62. What that is a deal with the devil. If you sell your soul for fame and riches and material gain, that's considered a Faustian bargain. So many celebrity deaths in connection to this number 62. Here's the latest. Kobe dead on the day of the 60-second Grammys. And that story, where that comes from, that terminology. Faustian bargain. The character who sells a soul in the novel is named Dr. Faustus, and he's also referred to as Faust. And just notice Dr. Faustus is 47. 47 is a special number in itself, a number that represents time, the number that's so symbolic to the Masons. We're going to talk about Shaquille O'Neal, who's 47 years old. Kobe wore 24. LeBron wears 23. Added up, 47. Faust is also 67, like blood sacrifice. Kobe's dead on a date with 67 and 47 numerology, along with his daughter. So the story is Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. So many celebrities have died in helicopter crashes. You know, one of the most famous of all time, Stevie Ray Vaughan, whose best-selling album was Texas Flood, and then Texas flooded on the anniversary of his death a couple years ago. It's another story, but Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas Sunday morning. TMZ Sports has confirmed. Kobe was traveling with at least 3 other people in his private helicopter when it went down. A fire broke out. Emergency personnel responded, but nobody on board survived. 5 people are confirmed dead. We're told Vanessa Bryant was not among those on board, and we'll get to what's interesting about that. If you know my work in 38, Kobe's dead exactly 38 weeks after his wife's birthday. We'll get to that. Like I always say, all these athletes, they're in arranged marriages, and they're
Talking about that number 38 again, right? Kobe Bryant born on the 38th day. Buried on the 38th day of the year, February 7th. Death equaling 38 and murder equaling 38. So the number 38 is definitely relevant.
careers are even synced up with the spouses from these arranged marriages. Notice Calabasas, where he died, has that gematria 67, like the date numerology. Has gematria 59 and 67, like Black Mamba is nickname. Remember, 59 is that number coded all over Black history. Negro, slave, blues, Rasta, they all sum to 59. Black History Month, February, typically ends on the 59th day of the year, except for leap years. The NFL called this the year of the black quarterback. Patrick Mahomes just advanced to the Super Bowl in a game 35-24, 59 points. It's in Miami Gardens this year, which equals 59. Lamar Jackson, the blackest quarterback in the league, scored 59 points week 1 in Miami. Another ritualistic number. That's why they called LeBron the Black Mamba. Code that 59 on him. Michael Jordan equals 59. Of course, so many parallels between Kobe and Michael. Okay, so other things. Let's not forget that Satanic equals 67 too. Again, Faustian bargain. Faust, 67, making a deal with the devil. So, Kobe. Again, his name, his full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, the son of Joe Jelly Bean Bryant. Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when we really had the Super Bowl nailed down early, when we said it was going to be Patriots and Eagles after week 3, you might recall the Eagles were in L.A., and L.A. was the huge favorite, but we said, no, this is the Eagles year, and they took that game. Kobe was part of the ritual singing Fly, Eagles, Fly, and I pointed out back then, Fly, Eagles, Fly, Kobe Bean Bryant, this stuff's not an accident. And now here he is just dead right before Super Bowl 54. So just making the point of why Kobe goes at this time. And notice Kobe's 41 years old. Super Bowl 41. Kobe Bryant without the middle name 41. Last night, King James passed him. King 41. And of course, Kobe and Shaq, they were the unstoppable duo in the rigged NBA. Today's 41 days from Shaq's birthday, and notice Shaq's 47 years old right now. You might recall his sister died by the numbers this past year. Covered that at the time. It was on a channel that was deleted 2 channels ago. If you're new here, the reason this channel has such small subscribers is because it's been deleted 20 times. Had we not been deleted by Google so many times, we'd have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. People would really be receiving this message like they deserve. But understand, Google is part of the cabal. Google does not want this knowledge out there. It's why this channel is shadow banned. It's why it's been deleted so many times. It's why, you guys who subscribe get unsubscribed. Some of you don't realize because you probably have 1,000 subscriptions and you just forget about the channel. But Google does everything in their power to keep this channel as small as possible. Google, therefore, to me, is responsible for these ritual murders just as much as the people who actually do it. And again, Google is part of the cabal, so yeah, they absolutely are. It's why they do not want this knowledge out there. But with regards to Kobe being 41 and this being 41 days from Shaq's birthday, LA's 41. Recall we covered the death of Joanne Buss. Joanne Buss of Jerry Buss of the Lakers. She died December 16, 2019, which was also a date with 67 numerology. That was 41 days before Kobe's death. In LA 41, the LA superstar. Joanne Buss's death comes 41 days before Kobe's. Joanne had that 54 connection as well. I'm watching the people with the 54 connections pile up in the morgue this past year. Covered way too many of them. Just even covered one this morning on the death of another drummer with a 54 connection. His death was in the news yesterday, the same day that LeBron passed Kobe on the 54th point. So, Kobe's dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, from his birthday to his son's death is his 100th day of his age. It's also 3 months and 8 days. But the 100 stands out because, again, when you write out 100, it equals 54. This is the 100th NFL season, concluding with Super Bowl 54. Like we just talked about in the college championship. Clemson, Dabu Sweeney, the championship was 54 days after his birthday on a 54-date numerology in New Orleans, which equals 54. For Trevor Lawrence, it was his 100th day of his age that game, and Trevor Lawrence became 25-1 as a starter, like 251, the 54th prime. Same day Kobe got passed by LeBron with the 54th point scored in the game. So 3 months and 8 days, again, death, murder, killing, RIP 38. We'll expand on that in a moment because we're going to look at how this death comes 38 weeks after his wife's birthday. And that's actually right here. So his wife, Vanessa Lane Bryant, of course, years ago, big story that Kobe cheated on his wife, and then he got her the huge diamond to make up for it. Might even have to go back and look at that story later. But here it is. Her birthday is May 5th to January 26th is exactly 38 weeks. 38. Again, death 38. If you're new here, the movie poster, Murder by Numbers, the E's changed to the 3, the B to the 8. No other letters are changed, just 3-8. Murder's 38. Killings 38, deaths 38, RIPs 38. This code of letters and numbers is Gematria 38. English is 38. It comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah is 38. Again and again, just shows up around deaths. The video I did this morning on the drummer, he was in the band Death, which turns 38 years old this year, and now he's dead. And again, he has the 54 connection.
So there's a bunch of stuff going on in this video, right? Obviously, the video is definitely, it's about 3 hours long, so we're not gonna watch the whole thing. But I'm gonna leave the description to the video. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, so if anybody wants to watch it, it will be available. But for now, I'm just gonna go and enjoy the rest of my night. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, the rest of your week, and definitely appreciate you guys for rocking with us this long. And I look forward to bringing you guys future content, future examples, future winners, and I hope to see you guys in the membership as well, making the community bigger, promoting the channel. Once the video goes up, leave a positive comment or feedback, share the video, tell a friend to tell a friend, and continue to support those people who genuinely support you, right? So on that note, we're going to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody. Have a great night. Have a positive night. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. One more time for my guy, Luka Doncic, right? Salute, salute, salute.